Hi guys, I'm Jessica and you're watching Blue Ridge Bubble Works. First, I have to apologize. It's later in the day than what I normally film, so it's especially bright behind me. One of these days I'll get some curtains or something to, block some of that light. But anyways, today we are doing the third and final soap in our November collection. This one is going to be called Hayride, and we will be using Hayride from Nature's Garden. This smells, it smells so nice. It's not overly strong. My husband has a lot of seasonal allergies, and sometimes things that are kind of floral or outdoorsy will just make him feel like he needs to sneeze. And this doesn't really have that sort of component in it, because sometimes I can kind of relate a little bit. But I feel like I've got a ton of stuff on my table, so I need to tell you everything that's in here, and I'm going to put it away as I'm telling you. We have, let's see, it's going to be 4 colors, and one color is the matte white pigment powder for oil, which is a mouthful, from Crafter's Choice. So put that away. The hay color, which will be the bottom layer, is going to be half the soap, is a mixture of Maya Gold from Nurture Soap and Buttercup Mica from Brambleberry. These two together, let me show you, makes the perfect, these two colors together, look at that, it's the perfect hay color. It's kind of hard to turn it up because of the angle of the camera, but you'll see it. It's pretty. And then got a berry twist. Come on, there we go. And the last color is actually a mixture of rose gold from Brambleberry, and I'm using some activated charcoal from Brambleberry. These two colors don't seem like something you'd want to normally put together, but I've used that combination before in, it was a cranberry orange soap, and it was just the perfect cranberry color. So let's get to mixing up Hayride. All right, in this bucket I've got my room temperature oils all mixed up, and right here I've got my lye solution with a little bit of sodium lactate. Let's just mix these together. And get all that in there. Guess I should have taken this out first. All right. And mix. Okay, that has been emulsified. So all the oils and everything, everything's all mixed together good. Let's see, I'm not going to use this one because it's got a little bit of lye lint on there, and I don't want to get that mixed in. All right, so this soap is essentially going to be 2 layers, but one layer is going to be an in the pot swirl. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and split this off half and half. It doesn't have to be perfect. My layers rarely are perfect. That is pretty close. And we will not be coming back to this bucket. So let me get this all scraped out good. All right, I've gotten my batter all mixed up and split into 2 relatively equal parts. So we are going to set one aside because I don't want that one to, I want this one to set up, and I don't want that one to set up yet. So this is going to be the bottom layer, which is the hay color, which you can see it a little better now that the camera is tilted down. Just the perfect hay color. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And then I'm going to mix in about half of the fragrance oil. Let's see how much I have in here. All right, that's about right. And I'm just gonna mix it all up with the stick blender. So I mixed this just a little bit more than I probably needed to, but I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. I wanted to have a nice solid medium trace going on before I poured it. It's not quite a medium trace. I would still consider this on the thinner side. But that buttercup mica, in case you haven't noticed, this is going very orange right now. Oops, I just touched that. It's going very orange, but the buttercup mica tends to do that. So it won't be quite this orange. I did want it to be a little bit orange because it's hay and I didn't want it to be bright yellow. But we're gonna go ahead and pour this. And I want this to be a nice flat layer. Make this. Oh, look at that. It's like getting liquidier. You know, normally that wouldn't bother me, but it seems like the last several loaves of soap I've made, I've wanted it to set up and it would just, I mean, this is super liquidy. Look at that. All right, well, we're just gonna have to give this some time and then we will come back and mix up the next couple colors and do the end of the pot swirl for the top. I set my timer for 8 minutes and it has set up very, very nicely. I couldn't believe how watery it got for a little while, but that's all right because it's set up good now. So I'm coming back to this other half, and since I know how well it behaved in the first half, I'm just gonna go ahead and add the entirety of the fragrance oil to this before I split off the colors. And that'll give it plenty of time to set up. All right, and that is loosening up this batter a little bit, which is what I want. All right. What I'm gonna do, instead of just filling the cups up, I'm just gonna add a little bit of soap to each one and mix it in and make sure I'm getting everything off the bottom before I add the rest. Oh, it's gonna drip again. There we go. This will just make it a little bit easier to incorporate that color. Must have gotten a little bit more charcoal in this than I did before, so it's turning a little bit purpler than what I had intended. But you know what? I think it's still going to be pretty. You know what? I've got time to mess with it, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more of the rose gold. Not even going to measure it. I'm just going to add some more rose gold because I would like that to be pinker than what it is. All right, let's see how this does. Well, that helped a little bit. All right, that definitely helped. Okay, because this one I wanted a purple and a pink. think I've got these mixed up pretty good and got all the colorant off the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and top them off with some more uncolored soap. All the colors have been mixed into the batter, and now I'm just going to do exactly what I said. The in the pot swirl is just a swirl that's actually just poured in together before it gets poured into the mold. So let's get all these colors in there. And this is the perfect consistency, because these colors are not going to blend much, if at all, because they're nice and thick-ish. So I'm going to get all that colorant in there. And get all this soap in there. And since this is relatively thick, normally if I have a thin batter and I try to do an in the pot swirl or something like that, I wouldn't try to mix it up, but this is pretty thick, so I'm just gonna do 1, 2, and that is it, because I definitely don't want it too swirly. Well, I like it swirly, but I don't want it to mix, and then it'll get kind of muddy. So here we are back with the hay layer. This is set up, I mean, it's like Dairy Queen, right? It's not going to go anywhere. So, but I'm still going to use a spatula to break the fall, because if you put too much pressure on it, it might still go through. That is going to be so pretty. I'm pretty excited about that. All right, let's get that nice, ooh, almost took that down. Let's get that nice and flat. And I don't know what in the world happened. It was a lot, that did this last time too. I thought it was real thick. And then when I poured it, it looked very, very runny. And now look at this. It's runnier than it was when it was in the pitcher. I don't know what to think about that. But I love those swirls. I'm gonna get you up close. Look how cute that is. It's so marbled and pretty. I definitely don't want to tip it up though, because look how jiggly that is. All right, I'm going to give this a few minutes. I see some bubbles coming up out of it. But anyways, I'm going to give this a few minutes and then we'll texture the top. So while I was waiting for this to set up a little bit, I was just cleaning up and kind of thinking about what I wanted to do to the top. And what I have decided is that I am going to put a little bit of this Maya Gold through a strainer. Oh, here we go. Just put a little bit on top. All right, so I've got that on top now. So now that I've got a little layer of that on top, I'm just gonna pull from one side and just push it over to the other, just a little bit. Let me get here, I'm just gonna take my little It's my little bucket of trash. I'm just gonna wipe some of that off. It's getting to be too much on there. All right, I want to knock down these edges, or the points. I don't really want it to be pointy on top. Let's see. It's funny, these little points they kind of look like peeps. So I'm going to pull it back this direction just a little bit, so it doesn't look too much like a peep. Actually, I think that's making it look more like a peep. Oh well, it's cute. We'll leave it. We'll leave it. All right, because I don't want any points sticking up, because then that causes problems when trying to when I shrink wrap it. All right, but look at this. See, this sets up so nice. But look, how cute is that? See, it looks a little bit like peeps. That's all right. I really love that gold on top. I'm glad I thought of doing that. Okay, so that is Hayride, and we will be back for the cut.